pregnant women with dire complications in states with abortion restrictions. We're seeing it play out in Texas and Kentucky right now. And Diane, Sawyer, and Rachel Scott, they teamed up for an ABC News special report on a hidden medical crisis. Pregnant women with high-risk pregnancies facing emergencies in the 21 states that enforce their own laws since the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. They both join us now, and this is so necessary, and it's an angle to the story that people have not approached until now.
I didn't know the depth of this, and I want to give credit to Rachel, first of all. For more than a year now, she's heard the cry of alarm from the doctors and from the patients about what is happening in this hidden crisis. And so I asked her if I could team up with her. We could go out and try to find a number of women who come together and tell their stories, and they are harrowing.
The more time that we spent reporting on this, the more women that we found, and their stories are so stunning, so searing. It really begs a central question. Is this really what we want for pregnant women in this country?
We're there as they walk into a room in Texas. From Idaho, Florida, Alabama, South Carolina, Wisconsin, Arizona, Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee. They are strangers who have gathered together because they share a common bond, suffering in the crossfire and confusion of new healthcare laws. Laws in 21 states in this country, with varying bans and restrictions. These women say they know there are thousands of others out there like them. It takes courage to go on camera.
I'm wondering how many of you almost didn't come. How many of you felt you had to come?
Yeah, for sure.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. I don't think people realize how common this is.
Is this a debate over abortion, or is it a debate over health care?
Healthcare. It's a debate over human rights.
That's what people need to understand, is these were wanted babies.
Let's start with the story of this woman in the front row, Kristen Anaya. Like so many in this room, for months and months, she had been trying to get pregnant. Here's the moment she got the phone call of her dreams.
Hello?
Hi, Kristen. It's Dr. Mansfield. Are you guys together?
We are.
Because we have really good news. Congratulations, you're pregnant.
4 months of complete happiness before the day of complete heartbreak. All of a sudden, Kristen felt something wrong. The membranes protecting her fetus broke and her water, the amniotic fluid, lost. Doctors say this happened so early the fetus cannot be saved. With her fetus dying inside her, Kristen is now at risk. The clock begins ticking on infection and the terror of sepsis, infection that can rage through your bloodstream and cause organ failure. In states where there are no bans, doctors would race to induce labor to protect her health, her fertility, her life.
Within hours, I was showing all signs of sepsis. The doctors needed to start inducing me immediately. However, they were unable to because of Texas abortion laws.
And so the exact words were, we have to prove to the ethics board and the medical board of this hospital that your life is in danger before we can intervene.
She is shaking violently from fever, vomiting nonstop.
Our doctor, our nurses were crying at my bedside, wishing they could do something with blank stares on their faces because they literally couldn't do anything until the blood work showed that I was dying.
Hour by hour, the doctors monitor the increase of the infection in her blood. She knows there's no chance for the baby.
She's literally dying inside of me as I lay on the bed going septic. And in what world does that make any sense to prevent health care for me?
Yeah.
What about my life? We didn't ask for that. We didn't want that.
So you were waiting, what, how many hours?
Almost 24 hours.
Finally, the boards approve her treatment. Her doctors induce labor. The baby passes. But Kristen is so sick from infection, she has to remain in the hospital for the next 5 days, getting IV antibiotics and blood transfusions.
A room full of women with searing stories of trying to get medical care, but state laws have tied their doctors' hands. The stories will break your heart.
Risk for blood clots, infections.
Every single one of my son's organs were growing outside of his body.
Torture. That is torture. That's monstrous.
Torture. Missing the skull.
Women and doctors sounding the alarm that something has to change.
Is 25% chance of death, is that enough? Does she have to have a 75% chance of death? Who gets to decide?
You're not fatal enough, or you're not sick enough. It's like, in what world are we living in right now?
Many of their husbands also felt the urgent need to be here, calling on men across the country to join in protecting pregnant women fighting to live.
Can things change without the support of men?
No. Imagine if this continue to keep going and we don't step up as men, there's going to be a lot of casualties. A lot of women are going to die.
So good to see the husband stepping up and wanting to be a part of this necessary discussion. And Diana, I believe you said that you spoke with like 100 doctors facing fines.
Oh, not just fines, $100,000 fines, loss of their licenses, and prison time up to 99 years. Mm-hmm. And again, the doctors are in despair that they can't help patients and do what they know is the right thing to do.
And speaking with so many families and seeing just their emotion, how many families would you say that you've spoken with?
We reached out to 50 women, and we got all of those women in one room together, but I think it's important to note that for every woman that was seated there, there was one woman who told us that they couldn't come, that they were nervous about speaking out, but they privately shared that similar things happened to them as well, that their own lives, their health was at risk, and they felt like their doctors couldn't have this honest conversation with them. Some doctors even told us that they were even nervous to say the word abortion. So it's created this chilling effect.
And you're also going to see these women racing to get health care and what it takes to get out of their states and what they're going through even when they have a medical emergency. The miles they drive and the terror, the fresh hell to get the medical care in another state.
And it's very much in the headlines right now. The woman in Texas, I know you've been covering this woman who had to leave the state.
The first pregnant woman to sue the state of Texas, to sue any state in this post-Roe environment that we're currently living in. It's really a test case for this type of health care, whether or not women can get access to it. Her uterus was at risk of rupturing. She had been to the emergency room 4 times in the last month. But still, the Texas Supreme Court decided to rule against her, saying that she did not meet the exceptions in that state to get an emergency abortion.
And now a woman in Kentucky.
And now another woman in Kentucky. And so advocates that we speak to say we're going to start seeing more and more cases like this.
Diane, we're about to reach 2024. 2024.
That's right.
In this issue.
And this issue, and the women say, we're here for the other women. We're here because we believe if Americans know this is happening, that they'll ask for change.
Yeah, and hearing from them. Hearing from them.
As you said when we were watching the piece, they are so brave.
They really are. Well, thank you both. Thank you both so very, very much. And Impact by Nightline on the Brink streams only on Hulu, and that starts tomorrow. Look at you both. Thank you. Bless you both. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.